Hi guys! Today we have a new episode of what's flowering inside my indoor garden in the months of September, October and beginning of November. I couldn't do this video before because I spent a month away during summertime and I lost many blooms while I was away. So I had my Phalaenopsis bellina that I've showed you before, and it was blooming until October for me. I also had my Phalaenopsis ovalis brown that produced many blooms. It's a sequential bloomer and it produced I think 4 or 5 blooms for me, but I've also showed you before. My Paphiopedilum Pinocchio is still in bloom, it's blooming forever. I bought it many months ago. And if you want an orchid that never stop blooming, Paphiopedilum Pinocchio is one for you because it is a sequential bloomer, so it's coming one bloom after another one. And the flowers are pretty similar. It's not something that they lose color or they start becoming smaller and smaller. In my opinion, it is still blooming beautifully. It has no fragrance, but I can see it closer to my windowsill. It's always closer to me. I need to repot it at some point. So this one is the last one from the month that you have seen before, and I still in bloom. The orchid that I'm showing you now, it's a beautiful intergeneric, no ID. If you know the ID, if you have any suspicions, please leave the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about this one. It was blooming when I was in Brazil. When I came back, it still had a few flower spikes. I think originally it produced 4 flower spikes, and the flowers, they are very vivid, bright. As you can see, it's red. The petals, they curved a little bit, which is quite interesting, but I do think this plant, it's wonderful, it's gorgeous, has no fragrance, but this time it has never bloomed like that for me. Produced so many flower spikes, so I'm so happy. It rewarded me with a beautiful show. Next one is still in the realm of Oncidians and intergenerics. It's my Oncidian Twinkle Jasmine. I've also produced a video about how to care for Oncidian Twinkle. I'll link it down below for you. But this one, it's another one that gave me 3 flower spikes. And the flower spikes, they produced many tiny flowers, beautiful flowers, that the fragrance you can feel from, if you are in the same room, you definitely sense it, because it's a mixture of honey and vanilla. It is sweet, but I don't feel sick with this fragrance, although I'm quite sensitive to fragrance. I love this plant so much because it is very compact, so you can keep it anywhere in your house, and maybe that's one of the reasons you can find different colors of twinkles as well. I super recommend this plant if you live in a flat, if you live in a house, anywhere where you'd like to place it. Because even if you love large plants, this one is a small one, but because of its fragrance and the amount of flowers that it produces, people tend to love this plant so much, and I understand why. So this one was one of the beauties that bloomed for me in the last few months. Next one is my Miltonidian Peter Comb. This one is another hybrid. It's still on the intergenerics realm. I found it locally in a flower shop. What I like about this plant is the color combo. I think the yellow, orange with this dark burgundy center, it's beautiful because they go very well together. It gives you such a warm sense. So I do believe the flowers are beautiful. They are fragrant, but it's not a powerful fragrance. You can feel during the day, if you sit near them, you definitely feel their fragrance. Each produce a very long flower spike. And it's not a massive intergeneric, but you still need space for it because the leaves will grow everywhere. And I noticed that with more care that I give to this plant, more beautiful it is growing. On the first flowering, the flowers were not so bright and they were smaller as well. And now that they've been taken care properly, they are growing very, very well. And I do believe I have this time the best flowering yet. And in my opinion, this one is the highlight of these 3 months because I wasn't expecting it to give me so many beautiful flowers. When I bought it, I almost regretted. I have to be honest, I said, oh, why I bought this plant. But looking at the flowers now, I'm quite happy, and I'm intending to keep it. I love how they are looking. The flowers last for very long as well. Next one is my Prosticea bacalus. This one is a species. So I bought from my project here in the UK. I wasn't expecting much from this plant, apart from this typical Prosticea flower that turns up. What I noticed is, I'm gonna be very honest, I don't really like this plant. Talking about the plants that it doesn't do for me, but I thought it would be interesting to show you. The flowers, they are creamy with a darker center, and it was the first time it's bloomed for me. What I like about this plant, if you're a fragrant lover, I think the fragrance can attract you very well. So it is a strongly fragrant flower. It sits far from me because I have sensibility to fragrance, to strong fragrance. But these flowers, I do believe if you love fragrance, I think you would love this one. What it doesn't do for me, it's because it is a large Prosticea, and if I have to choose another plant to replace this one, I think I would. I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but yeah, that's the only thing that I would add in here. Maybe because the flowers, they are so muted, maybe that's the thing, but nonetheless, it is elegant. And the fragrance is really good. So if you love fragrances, maybe you would love this species as well. And there are some people that they love to collect species. So if one of them, I'm sure we enjoy this one. It's a very easy to grow Prosticea, by the way. It grows like nothing, produces lots of tons of roots. And as you know, I'm not the best with Cattleyas, but Prosticeas, they do pretty well at my home and with me, just to let you know. The last one, I told you it wouldn't be a very long video, so the last one for today, it's my beautiful Paphiopedilum Modiae Fema. This is a very common hybrid, at least not expensive here, and I think in other regions as well. It's one of the most common, I think, hybrids of Paphiopedilum because it produced this classic and beautiful green flower. I know that we have as well a red version of it, and it has the most beautiful mottled leaves. So if you love mottled leaf puffs and you don't have experience with them, I would advise you to get this one because it blooms once to twice a year, so it's not a very slow grower like most Paphiopedilums are. And on top of that, you have the beautiful mottled leaves. You not only got flowering once a year, but we also have these beautiful leaves. These puffs has no fragrance, as most Paphiopedilums they don't. What I like about it, it produces a very large flower with hairy petals there. The pouch is pretty much green, but when you look at it, it's pretty interesting. There are people that are they love Paphiopedilum so much, and I can understand why. It's one of my favorite orchids as well. There are people that are not really into them because they can be quite slow, but I do love them. I do believe they are a joy to grow because they are so easy as well. At least for me, they are very, very easy plants to grow and to collect. And I think their flowers are beautiful. Let me know what you think about these plants. this concludes my video for today. I hope you have enjoyed what's flowering in my indoor garden, and I will probably see you again in January because I have so many plants spiking, and I think I will have a beautiful show during winter time, much better than summer and spring. I don't know why. Anyway, maybe because my collection is made out of phalaenopsis. Probably that's the reason. But I hope to show you beautiful flowers in 2 months' time and to see you here soon. I hope you have enjoyed it, and bye!